All right, so let's get started with today's class. For our vocab, let's check out a few words, and we're gonna go with the same format as last time, where we don't have to do all those synonyms or the fill in the blanks. We're gonna go right into just going into paragraph writing. So we got two words to start us off on this slide. Can I please get Aaron? Could you read this slide for us? All right, let's go with Ethan. Ethan, can you read this slide for us?
Or definition: to regret deeply or strongly, disapprove of, to feel or express deep grief for or in regard to. Example: although deplored by many, her decisions have greatly benefited the company. Travesty definition: a grotesque or debased likeness or imitation, a literary or artistic composition, so
Composition.
inferior in quality. Seen as imitation of its model. Example: the trial was a travesty of justice.
All right, very well done. So the first word that we got here is deplore. This is a verb. This is to regret deeply. So when you're regretting something, when you don't agree with something, when you disapprove of it, also when we have some expression of deep grief. So typically, the common definition that we see here is that it's like a negative feeling. It's like feeling regretful or disagreeing. So here, although deplored by many, so we can say possibly that means disagreed by many, disapproved by many, her decisions have greatly benefited the company. Again, that's a verb. Our next word was travesty, a noun. Um, the big thing that we want to see here is it is an imitation. We can also say it is a mockery. Let me put that actually over here. Imitation slash mockery. So it's when you're imitating something and you're kind of showing it in a bad light. So maybe you're mocking it, maybe you're making fun of it, things like that. So in this case, the trial, so this is like a court trial, was a travesty of justice. So they're saying that it is a bad imitation of what real justice looks like. It is a bad mockery. It just doesn't look good. So those are our two words, deplore and travesty. Let's try to make a short paragraph using those two words. Somewhere between 2 to 4 sentences. Let's aim for around 4 sentences. I'll give you guys 5 minutes and I'll put the screen back up. If you have any questions, you can let me know. All right, so it's been a few minutes so far. It's been around somewhere around 4 minutes. I'll give you guys a couple more minutes to get your answers in. Let's aim for around 4 sentences. All right, so nicely done. We got an answer here. Linnell, can you read your answer for us, please?
I have another one.
I see. Okay, let me put that here. Okay. Is that it for your answer?
Andy deplored deeply after being partners with Eileen. Eileen liked to give nicknames to everyone. For instance, Reka was Yuck. She said it was a way to make friends. However, Andy thought it was a travesty of friendship. From the first day they were group, she made a nickname for Andy, Chloe.
All right, so let's see what we got here. So we start off in our first sentence using deplored. So we use deplore, it's a verb, we put it in the past tense. Meaning, to regret, to have disapproval of. So Andy deplored deeply after being partners with Aileen. Aileen liked to give nicknames to everyone. For instance, Reka was the yolk. All right. Sounds good. She said it was a way to make friends. However, Andy thought it was a travesty of friendship. Okay, so this is a nice way to use travesty. It's like a mockery. It's like a bad imitation of friendship. So very nicely done. On the first day they were grouped. Andy thought it was a travesty of friendship. On the first day they were grouped. Okay, so we can just combine this first sentence with this sentence.
Okay.
So I'm just going to take out the period, and I'm going to turn this to lowercase. And let's see what we got here. She made a nickname for Andy. Instead of this comma, we put a semicolon. That's what it's called. I'm going to cross this out. Make this red. Might be a little tricky to see, but just take out the comma, put a semicolon when we're introducing something like this. And also a period at the end. Awesome. So excellent answer here. Let's move on to our next group of words. Linnell, can you read this slide for us, please?
Benevolent definition: showing or motivated by sympathy and understanding and generosity. Showing kindness. Example: Lexi's application had been submitted. She was in a benevolent mood. Brash, offensively bold, loud, sometimes rude. Example: I remember that the first time I saw Captain Smith on the dock at Blackwall, how strong and brash he seemed.
All right, very nicely done. So our first word here is an adjective. It is benevolent. So benevolent means to show sympathy, kindness, generosity, just a very generous type of mood, type of feeling. a personality trait. So in this example, Lexi's application had been submitted and she was in a benevolent mood. So she was in a very kind mood, a very generous mood. So she was in a good mood. So that's benevolence. Brash is almost the complete opposite. So brash is going to be something that is very offensive, very loud, very rude, just kind of in your face, very aggressive. That is brash. So this example here, I remember the first time I saw Captain Smith on the docks at Blackwall, how strong and brash he seemed. So he is describing, or they're describing Captain Smith as somebody that is very loud, somebody rude, bold, things like that. So using our two words here, benevolent and brash, let's try to create a short paragraph, somewhere around 2 to 4 sentences. And I'll give you guys around 5 minutes. I'll change this to 3 to 4 sentences. All right, so I'll put the screen back up. If you have any questions, you can let me know. But in around 5 minutes, I would like to see some answers. All right, so it looks like we got our answers in. So let's check this out. If anybody has more answers coming in, feel free, but I'm gonna take up this answer for now. Linnell, could you read your answer for us, please?
Okay, once upon a time there was a twins. Their name were Isabella and Ella. Their mom was benevolent to both of them. But one day in a car accident, their mom died. After that event, their father slowly became rash to all the person around him. He only loved Isabella, while Ella slowly becomes a maiden of Isabella.
All right, very interesting story that we got here. So, once upon a time, there was a twin. So we can change this to either there were twins, or we can say there was a pair of twins. So let's change that. There was a pair of twins. Their names were Isabella and Ella. Their mom was benevolent, so we can change this to lowercase. Their mom was benevolent. Okay, so very good. Describing her as somebody that's very generous, very giving, very kind to both of them. But one day, comma, good comma, in a car accident, their mom died. After that event, their father slowly became brash to all of the people around him. To all the people, sorry, to all, this should be people, to all the people. Only he loved Isabella. Okay, we can change this wording a little bit. We can say, we can just switch the order. You can just say he only loved. He only loved Isabella, while Ella slowly became the maiden of Isabella. All right. Very interesting story here, but good use of benevolent and rash to describe the character traits, the two personalities of the two characters, opposite personalities. So excellent job.